Hi, are you thinking about moving to Colorado, but you have a family and want to know exactly where the best areas to move to are? Well, that's exactly what this video is for. Let's get started. Hi there, Kristy Lee here, and I am a local real estate agent in the state of Colorado, but more importantly, I am a native of Colorado. If you're new to my channel, all of my videos are catered to help you move to this state and figure out the best location that fits you and your family. If that's something that interests you, please click that subscribe button right there. That way you are notified every time I have a new video. Now, as much as I love making these videos for you, I love helping you more. So please reach out to me anytime. My contact information is right there, and I would love to talk to you. All right, so today I'm going to be talking about my top 3 areas of where I think you should consider moving if you have a family. Now, I'm actually going to mainly be talking about actual areas opposed to cities because I feel like some of the places are going to be a little bit clumped together, and that's why I want to talk to you about them as a full area opposed to individual cities that might fit your needs. So the top one, or the first one, not necessarily the top one, but the first one I do want to talk about is more or less the Boulder area. I mainly want to talk about this area, well, one, because the school district, so Boulder Valley School District is ranked #1 in the state of Colorado. Now, when I talk about the Boulder area, I'm not necessarily talking about Boulder proper or Boulder specifically the actual city. And while Boulder as a whole is fantastic, I mainly want to talk about the areas around it because I think those areas are very great for families as well. So these areas are going to consist of Longmont, Superior, Broomfield, Louisville, Lafayette, and I think Erie should definitely be part of that as well. While part of Erie is going to be in Broomfield County, other parts as well. So I'm just going to lump it right in there with it too. Now, the reason why I love this area for families so much is mainly because of what you guys tell me. You guys are coming out to me and having done your research on your own about these particular areas and are actually finding that this kind of whole big, large area of a bunch of different cities is going to be best for your specific family. Now, I will attest, this is kind of the areas that I grew up in as well my entire life, as well as where I currently live now. So I do believe that you are onto something by saying that it's great for families. Now, obviously, our Boulder Valley is ranked #1 in this for school district, which is amazing. But what I also love about this area is that it's very community oriented. So you do have that sense of, neighborly love, I guess you can say. People do come together a lot in this particular area. A lot of these areas, as far as like Erie, Longmont, Superior, they all kind of have, and Boulder as well, do have that little kind of downtown area where you can go. There's great restaurants and breweries. There's a lot of times where we'll have festivals and events for kids, specifically for kids, or, maybe the Turkey Trot or the Boulder Marathon, things like that, just really to help bring the community together. Another great thing about living in this particular area, and the area that I'm kind of talking to you about, just to kind of, give you an idea of where this is essentially west of Denver. So we're talking kind of right around surrounding that Boulder area. The great thing about this particular area is that it is definitely outdoor focused. So if you are somebody that absolutely loves being outside, or you have your family who loves to go on bike rides or hiking, rafting, anything like that that's outdoor related, these particular areas are going to be really, really great for you, mainly because, one, you're extremely close to the foothills. You can make it up to the mountains really in no time, to be honest. And then there's just so much, bike trails and activities and, rock climbing, they have those classes all over the place. And that's kind of really where this particular area caters to. That's the type of people that they really do focus on, is going to be that outdoor enthusiast. To kind of piggyback on that, though, is that because it is so outdoor focused, obviously we're gonna have the amazing mountain views. So depending on where you are located within this particular area, you're gonna have an amazing view of the mountains and mainly the Flatirons too, depending on, you know, if you're in Superior, Broomfield, you will have this, the Flatirons Mountains that you can absolutely see. If you're a little bit farther, northeast, I should say, you could definitely see Long's Peak, along with the whole Front Range of the mountains. So I mean, it's just a great location. As far as kids are concerned, our families are concerned, it's just an amazing location to get out, enjoy nature, enjoy your community, be part of a really, really great school district, and then, you know, just really enjoy everything that Colorado has to offer. The second area I think that you should consider is actually going to be the complete opposite side of the Boulder County area, and it's going to be down south, definitely down south and a little bit east as well. So I kind of want to clump both Parker and Castle Rock together. Both of them are going to be in Douglas County. So Douglas County School District is highly ranked as well. I believe last time I checked it was 2 or 3 ranked in Denver. And the reason I'm choosing these is because, well, one, they kind of remind me of each other. So when you're driving from Castle Rock into Parker or vice versa, you kind of, it feels really very much the same. You have the rolling hills. It's really, really pretty, but a different type of pretty, I should say, than the Boulder side. You are going to be farther away from the mountains, at least Parker you are. Castle Rock, you kind of feel like you're in the mountains. You have the Castle Rock, so you could definitely see that in the distance, and you just have these kind of rolling hills, and it feels very, there's a lot of pine trees, a lot of mature trees in both of these areas. I will say it definitely feels, to me anyways, a lot more spread out. Maybe you have a little bit more room to breathe in these particular areas, especially Parker. The reason why I chose this area for families is because it's definitely growing. So they're still very small, but they're growing and they feel very comfortable when you're there. You do still have the small town, the strip of shopping in Parker where they have the coffee shops and the restaurants. They will have festivals and things like that in Parker. And then in Castle Rock, you have its small town, or excuse me, the downtown Castle Rock area, kind of the same thing, except for it's 2 blocks worth, but it definitely has those small little area of shops and restaurants as well. Cool thing about Castle Rock though is that you have the outlet mall, which is going to be on across the street or across the highway. So you have that for as far as conveniences are concerned. I really like this area because while you feel like you're in the mountains, especially in Castle Rock, but you're still far enough away that you're not close to, say, Denver. You don't have that Denver feel as far as like the hustle and bustle of the Denver life, but you are really still close to Colorado Springs. If you're somebody who works in Colorado Springs or commutes to the Springs, you still are pretty close there. And then for both of these locations, I like them because of the price point of what you can get in these locations. They are going to be less than the Boulder side, for sure. Boulder is really expensive. On average, they're about $1.2 million on average for Boulder proper. Obviously on the outskirts of Boulder, it's definitely not that. That's kind of why I was talking on the outskirts anyways. But once you get down to Parker or Castle Rock, you could get a lot more for your money out there. A lot of times you're gonna get a bigger lot, a little bit newer house. If you're somebody who really likes new build communities, they're building like crazy in both of these areas. So these particular areas are definitely exploding if that's something that you like as far as a new build community. But if you like something a little bit older, a little bit more mature, you could absolutely get something in the mid 500s. In both of these areas. So this is an area I think you should definitely consider, depending on, it's a completely different lifestyle than the Boulder side, but highly recommend it. It just kind of, to me, it's like calming. I don't know. It's until you get out there and experience it, I can't really describe it until you're actually there and you see the difference between the Boulder side and the Parker and Castle Rock side. But it is very calming. It's very open, in my opinion. Not a whole lot of hustle bustle going on, but definitely something that I feel as a family is concerned is a great opportunity to bring your family there, and you'll probably really enjoy it. All right, and finally, the last one on my list that I definitely think you should consider for a family is actually going to be Littleton. So Littleton as a whole is not just the area. I want to just concentrate on Littleton. Littleton actually is in Littleton School District. They have their own school district out there, and it's still highly ranked out there, which is great. The reason I really like Littleton is mainly for its proximity to the mountains. So when you live out there, it's going to be southwest of Denver, and there's so many amazing things out in Littleton. You're going to have Roxborough State Park out there, and if you were to live in that area, it's phenomenal. It's absolutely gorgeous. You have views of these major rocks all over the place. King Carroll is a really cool location too within Littleton, that you really get a sense of, like, you feel like you're living in the mountains even though you're not. Littleton still has its own, you know, downtown area, which is really cute. You have the melting pot, you know, coffee shops, breweries, cool restaurants and pubs that are all going to be right there. You have Arapahoe College out there, community college. The light rail is going to be right there. But Littleton is really big, and Littleton is a lot older than some of these other areas too. And I'm not necessarily saying older as a city. It's just older as their houses are going to be a lot older. So majority of the houses built in Littleton are going to be anywhere between the 50s and I would say 80s-ish. There will be a few and far between new builds in Littleton. They're not nearly as prominent as, say, Parker, Castle Rock, or even parts of the Boulder areas. So you will, if you're somebody who likes mid-century homes, I would definitely head out to Littleton. If you're somebody who just wants to feel like you're honestly in nature, Littleton is also a cool little area because you have a lot of opportunities where, say, deer or elk will actually just be in the area kind of like all the time. It's really strange depending on which area of Littleton you actually are in. It's also great proximity to, like I said, the mountains. So if you're a skier or camper or anything like that, you could actually get up to the mountains in, say, 45 minutes, depending on traffic. You're right there, right off the foothills. You're really close to Red Rocks Amphitheater. So if your family likes to go to concerts or movies on the rocks or anything like that, you're really close to that as well. Littleton also has its own botanical gardens where they have, you know, Christmas lights and Halloween lights. It's just a really cool community. That's a really large community too. So if you want that small town feel, maybe not so much Littleton, only because it is so large. It's a very big city, but it still offers so many great things. You have Chatfield Reservoir. So if you are somebody who likes to boat or water ski or anything like that, you have that right there in Littleton too. So it's just a different type of lifestyle than the other two that I've already spoken about. All right, so those are the 3 top areas that I think you should consider if you're moving here with a family. Remember to click that subscribe button right there. That way you are notified every time I have a new video. And then to the next video, take care.